Hey everybody, Agent of Doubt here, and last night I was watching a bearing video, as you do, and there was a little musing at the end, a little quip that I felt was wrong, and I just felt like responding to it. And so here's what Bering had to say at the end of his video.
Sexual people because they're homophobic, but I seriously doubt there's many people who are fine with gay people, fine with straight people, but draw the line at bisexual people. Anyway, I'll catch you later.
That is what we all do at the end of Bering videos, right? We all, right? Is it just me? Anyways, so I'm not the best SJW in the world, but bear with me. I feel like I got this one. I was once right where Bering is. I was that white, male, cisgendered, heteronormative guy with privilege, right? Before I was educated on these matters and had a lot of experience dealing with the LGBT community, I felt the same way as him. If you're okay with straight people and you're okay with gay people, of course you would be okay with bisexual people because they're kind of one foot in both camps, right? They're like 50-50. They're half gay, half straight. If you're okay with gay people and you're okay with straight people, you're okay with both components that make up a bisexual person, right? They're, if you're looking at it as a spectrum, of course that's intuitive, but human sexuality is a little bit more complicated than that. And I was looking from the perspective of that white, male, cisgendered, heteronormative type person and not understanding the perspectives of other people. Okay? So after I, grew older and wiser and became this kind of wacky psychotherapist who trained his pit bull to sick nuts with a laser and specialized in a field that correlates very well with certain things like minority groups and the LGBT community. And I got a lot of experience talking to people from the LGBT community. I've experienced that biphobia is a real thing, and it actually occurs the most, in my experience, in lesbians. And if you're not thinking about this from the perspective of somebody who is lesbian, you might not come across this as something that's intuitive. It might seem very counterintuitive. But imagine there's this group of lesbians, especially at my age, right, in their 40s and 50s, who feel like bisexuality doesn't exist, right? They're people that are trying to be part of the LGBT community, but they don't want to be all the way out of the closet, right? They're not embracing their true selves, their true gay selves. They're trying to be kind of passively gay, diet lesbian, right? And imagine these people who have had a lot of experience in the dating scene as lesbians. They've had a couple of partners who were just dabbling in being lesbian, and then when they broke up with them, they went back to being strictly with men, and this hurt their feelings, Imagine that there's this world where people feel like bi is a thing where people are afraid to shit or get off the pot, and they need to take more pride in themselves and choose one or the other, right? There's an entire community online of people who feel this way, and you can find them yourself. You don't need me. But if you're only thinking of things from the perspective of being straight and not having to deal with people who would jump from one person to the other, and that person maybe instead of you just having to deal with competing with 50% of the population, you're now competing with 100% of the population with this person because you don't know if they're looking at that person's tits or that person's dick, right? You're just all the time anxious as to whether or not they're falling in love with somebody else because you're insecure yourself. When you think of it from that perspective, you can see that biphobia could very possibly happen, and it's been my experience, mostly with lesbians, that it is a thing. And yeah, I feel like if everyone just went to their local university that had an LGBT center and sat there and listened to some of the things that were said, they would know this from experience. But there's some people in the world that maybe don't have that same experience, and yay! Hopefully, we've all learned.